Millionaire Mums, how to thrive in business while nurturing yourself and your family. I'm Rachel Evans. I am the CEO and founder at The Real Rachel and The Workshop Whisperer. And I'm sharing with you today some really key components of how you actually nurture yourself and your family while growing and building a business that helps you become a millionaire mum. You might already be there generating that kind of income now. You might have created wealth that helps you generate that kind of income, or you're simply here looking for the tips of those who have done it before you in order to embody that now so that you can call in that millionaire mum status a little sooner. Once upon a time, I was a single mum of three children who are now ranging in age from 23 down to 14. And I had to get really good really quickly at putting systems in place so that I could get my work done to grow my small coaching business. I had during school hours only to be able to do that. And I knew that I didn't want to be outside of those work hours and be with the kids and then only be thinking about work because there was a big list of things that I couldn't get to, and that would consume me. So, one of the things about my human design, I'm a 1-3, and with the three line, it means that I experiment a lot and I strategize and I look at how I want something to be and I reverse engineer through strategies and tactics how to get to that place where it's functioning as I can see it in my mind. I do trial and error really well. And it's what I've been able to successfully pass through to my clients that gives them the shortcut to get to where they want to be as well. So it's why I've been so successful, not just in being able to do these things for me, and is the reason that I'm here talking to you about it today to share it with you, but it's also the reason that I've been able to help so many of my clients experience the same kind of fulfilling feeling like you are nurturing yourself and you are able to nurture your family, particularly your kids, that you are able to nurture your relationship if you're in one, while growing a successful business as well. Traditionally, the concept of nurturing everywhere and everyone and building a successful business have clashed. And they clash because as mums, we are just hardwired to help everybody else. And often that's at the expense of ourselves. So if you're relating to this, make sure you give me a like here on the video so that I know that this is resonating with you. So, in order to be a millionaire mum who is still thriving and is able to feel like you are nurturing yourself and your family slash relationships slash friendships, there's a few things that I can share with you that you can start to put in place now, even if you're nowhere near being a bank balance millionaire or a net worth millionaire. Okay, so these things we can embody. We can start to think about the mindset required. We can start to think about, okay, if I was already at that point with my business and my bank balance and my net worth, how would I be feeling? What would I be seeing? What would my ideal day look like? So it's really important when you're moving out of self-sacrifice by putting everybody else's needs first. It's really important to be thinking about, well, how would I be treating myself if I was living my best life? Would I be running on empty? The answer is probably no. So, one of the first things we need to do is thinking about the state that you're in right now. Are you actually pouring from an empty cup? If you've been going full tilt at growing your business, whether that's because you've got a business with a team and it's requiring a lot from you, or you're a solo operator and that means you've got to wear all the hats. And then you're kind of dipping between work, something with the kids, something with your partner, something with the dog, work, partner, kids, work, work, work. And then somehow you sleep amongst all of that. You're probably a bit frazzled. Your nervous system's probably a bit shot and you're running too much on adrenaline. You're pushing through rather than flowing. And if that's you, then let's not feel bad about it. It's so common, and it's often the state where someone will reach out to me and we'll start working together because you realize you don't want to feel like that anymore. You're tired, you're overstimulated by caffeine. At night, you wake up and things just ruminate in your mind, or you do manage to sleep, but it's not restful. This is because you're pouring from an empty cup, and you will sacrifice yourself, so time for yourself, nourishment for yourself, in order to ensure that everybody else around you gets the best of you first. So, what we want is for you to pour into your cup first and for you to understand that is not selfish. It is not selfish. It's actually what's necessary if your business is going to get the best of you, if your kids are going to get the best of you, if your partner is going to get the best of you, if you're in a relationship, and other family members get the best of you, and your friends get the best of you. That's the only way they do that is if you put you first. Now, we are again hardwired by default to not do that. So, this is undoing a lifetime of conditioning, a lifetime of beliefs that as the mum, you are supposed to keep it all together for everyone. And if there's anything at all left over, you get that tiny little bit. Can you relate? I'm sure you can. We've all felt it and probably questioned it at some point, but still we keep pushing through. Well, it's time to draw a line in the sand because if you think about your perfect day in your perfect life, when all of the hard work that you've done up to this point is actually paying off, do you think you'd be running on empty? I know you wouldn't be. So let's talk about how we can fill your cup and pour from a full cup before you start giving to others. So, the first way we can do this is with a little ritual that I call the woman before the day begins. I'm an early riser. You might be too. You might have already discovered that it's quite peaceful first thing in the morning before anybody else is up. Now, if you're still in the thick of it with small children, you may be up early because so are they. Some kids are an annoying little alarm clock first thing in the morning, super early, and you just can't turn them off. It's just the way it is. Am I suggesting you should get up at 4:30 if they're awake at 5? Maybe not, but you might decide that's perfectly okay. Maybe you won't do the woman before the day begins, you'll do the woman before she goes to sleep. Okay, so make it at the time of the day where you can find peace and quiet. That's what the important part is. But let's just assume, like me, you don't mind getting up a little bit before everybody else. Okay. And the point is, it's quiet. It's quiet, and the only person around is you and the universe. And insert your word here for universe: God, spirit, source, Gaia, whatever you would like to call it. That's the only people around. It's quiet, peace. You make yourself a hot cup of your favorite drink. Doesn't matter what that is, caffeine or not, whatever process you would like to follow for that time of the morning, that means you're drinking something you deem appropriate, not alcohol, hopefully. Um, and it's warm. And the point of it being warm is that you will drink this beverage right to the bottom while it's still hot. Because at any other time of the day, when you're in business, running household, kids' school drop off, even when they're grown, they can drop in. There can be errands you need to run, sports practice, all kinds of stuff going on. You could make a coffee or a tea or a hot chocolate. And especially if you take it to your desk at work, a million things will happen and that drink will go cold more often than not before you actually drink it. So we're not only drinking from a full cup, we're drinking from a hot one. And it is your opportunity, your first and maybe your only one of the day, to savor this experience where it's quiet, where it's just you and God, you and whatever downloads you receive, drinking this treat of a warm beverage all the way to the bottom. Maybe that means you have 15 to 20 minutes and it's your moment to soak in the luxury of such a treat. If you end up doing this after the kids go to bed, remember it's the silence and the warm beverage, drinking all of it, no one taking that luxury away from you. And is it wild that drinking a drink while it's hot is a luxury? Well, it's kind of the world that we live in and probably the one we've created for ourselves. But here's where we take back a space and the peace and the quiet just for ourselves, and we have our moments and we can reflect. If it's in the morning, we can choose the day we want to have, be intentional, and you can do the same thing at night. Be intentional with the restful sleep that you want to have, and you can get a head start on creating the day that you want tomorrow when you wake up. Create a day that's full of joy, accomplishment. It'll probably want to be in there because we're ambitious, driven women. Freedom, love, laughter, clarity, if that's what you're after. If you're after inspiration, you might think about all of those things and give the intention into the next day. So that's the first way that we reclaim liquid in our cup, is by doing something like the woman before the day begins or the woman as the day ends, however you would like to do it. And when we just have those few minutes for ourselves, we can have a complete nervous system reset, or at least give ourselves that boost, because we recognize logically, mentally, we've just had some time just to whoa, and breathe. And we've taken a little treat for ourselves, and that's a tick. Start your day that way tomorrow and come back and let me know what a difference it made. And imagine doing that most of the days of the week and notice how much better your morning is or how much more restful your sleep is. Give it a go. The next way that we nurture ourselves and time for family while we're growing our business to become Millionaire Mum is making sure that we are nourishing ourselves with everything we need, health, nutrition, and fitness wise. Again, we're usually last when it comes to finding the time for the things that we want to do: yoga, Pilates, go to the gym, run, walk, swim, whatever it might be. We usually plan out everything for everybody else around school, sports practice, tutoring. Your partner might play a sport as well. And somewhere in there, we're trying to negotiate time for ourselves. It's really important that you acknowledge, especially if you're already Millionaire Mum and business is already great, you actually have the financial resources to employ help at home to make sure your fitness and your nutrition and therefore your health are taken care of as part of a system. So we're talking about food prep. We're talking about food prep that is researched ahead of time and the shopping done for you, ensuring that there's never something called hungry time. Because if you fall into a hungry time situation, you are more likely to make bad choices. Bad choices are usually high sugary foods, high fat foods, or high carb foods that cause a crash later on. And they also cause you to feel guilty later on when you told yourself that you would eat well and you didn't, or you told yourself you would have 2 liters of water a day, but you didn't. So let's all have a drink right now just to make sure we're on track with that. So I put in place back when I was a single mum, having a housekeeper to help bulk prepare meals for me. Now, you might immediately think that sounds ridiculously expensive. Who are you, you silly woman? I don't have that kind of money. Well, it's about priorities. And even when I was a single mum, and my business was only small and I was unable to afford other luxuries, I prioritized making sure that the preparation of healthy food to keep me healthy and always have healthy food on hand for the kids, I made sure that was a priority. So your bank statement will usually tell you what you're making a priority. So go and have a look and see where you're spending money that you could otherwise allocate twice a week for 3 hours at a time for somebody to come in and prepare that for you ahead of time so that you're just going to the fridge, getting it, reheating it, or going to the fridge, getting it, and eating it. The kids don't care if you're reheating food that was cooked in advance. All they care about is that they're fed. And if you've got somebody helping you with meal plans, that's less decisions for you. If you're having somebody help order the shopping or collect the shopping and then making those meals, that is less work for you. That means you've now got some time back to focus on self and focus on being present with the kids. So I started off with a housekeeper 2 days a week, 3 hours a day, and they cooked on both of those occasions 2 or 3 meals, and I would reheat those at night and we'd all sit down and eat at the same time. That's one of my things. I love everybody sitting down at the table at the same time, even though the kids are, some of them are in their 20s and the rest are teenagers. Wherever possible, that's what we like to do. But now that it's more evolved and I am remarried and the business is doing really well, I run a coaching business that produces multi-million dollars per year, running a team of 15 people, hundreds of clients. My housekeeper has a schedule and she knows every day in the calendar what time I've got scheduled for lunch. She knows what time I like to have my morning snack. She knows what time I love to have a coffee. She organizes all of that, less decisions for me. It means I've got more bandwidth for the super important stuff, like being with the kids, enjoying the time with my husband, and being the best CEO I can be at work and the best coach I can be for my clients. I hope you're understanding that having systems in place for yourself, the woman before the day begins, is a system. Having a housekeeper and people help you prepare things that would otherwise take your time, that's a system. And you need a system that ensures when you've switched over to mum mode or partner mode, that you can enjoy being with them and not being worried about what you should be doing at work or what your brain's telling you you could be doing at work. or didn't get done, or you've got this sense of I didn't achieve anything today because you kind of just ran from fire to fire to fire in the business. You want to be able to spend time with your kids and not feel guilty that you're not doing something else. When you're at work, you don't want to feel mummy guilt because it's school holidays and you're not at home with the kids. You might be like me and work from home, and have done since before COVID. So it's meant that when my children were very little and still at school, even if I had to run off to the laptop just to do something quickly, I was still close by to them. But for any of you who are working in a bricks and mortar business, or you don't yet have systems in place that allow you to be home and not working on when the kids are on school holidays, it's really time to have a look at what you do have set up in the business and what's missing that robs you of your presence when you want to be with the kids or with your partner, even with your friends or other family members, or simply be by yourself and not feel guilty that you're not working because you didn't finish X, Y, and Z. Systems solve everything. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get them in place, especially where it's requiring the help of someone else. So it could be hiring in your first team member or additional team members. It could be finding the right people to come and work in your home. So the right housekeeper. Maybe it's an afternoon nanny because you've got small children that can help you just with the things that you'd normally have to stop work to go and get them from school. Do homework with them, get them a snack, take them to sports practice. They can help with putting the laundry on. They can help prepare dinner. If you got 2 hours back in the afternoon because you had somebody like that help you 3 times a week, what could you create in that time in your business that would generate additional income or better outcomes for your clients or customers? And will you feel okay about outsourcing that? That's the other thing we must conquer as mums because it's been hardwired into us that we can do it all. We're in this generation of women coming out of the 70s who grew up being told you can do whatever you want, you can have it all. We saw our mums go and get jobs where their mums hadn't had jobs once they were married. So we've all got this great idea that we can have a business and we can be successful and we can run our households and we won't run into the ground, except we do because we don't put enough support systems in place. And it's all of my systems that I've learnt with trial and error over the last decade to 15 years that have helped me put a scaffolding of support around me that has allowed me to grow a business that produces what it does, that has allowed me to build wealth with my husband as we have, means we can take 2 months off in December and January every year to have really meaningful time with each other, with the kids, with our families, with our friends. And then again in July each year, have another month off. Our businesses still run as if we were there. Of course, not without a single issue at all. It's business, it's dynamic. Of course, you're always going to be refining your systems. But we're also able throughout the year to make sure that we're operating at an optimum level because of the systems we put in place. And as a millionaire mum or someone looking to embody being a millionaire mum before you get there so you can call her in faster, it's your ability to put this scaffolding around yourself, to put the systems in place that will nurture you and your family while you're growing your business. It's your ability to do that that will ultimately determine what state you arrive there in. So if you stick with business and maybe you work with a coach, maybe you don't, but eventually you do get there to be successful and have the income that you dream of to do the things that you want. If you end up getting there, but you're arriving there in bad shape, health issues, it might be turning into relationship issues, too much stress, too much nervous system shock, the works. You're not going to enjoy it and you're going to wonder why. Was it all worth it? When right now you can make some quite simple, non-threatening adjustments, even if it's just one, starting with that little time out first thing in the morning or the last thing at night, that just gives you the opportunity to reflect, to have clarity, and to be intentional for the day ahead. That will make a massive difference to you operating from your best self status. And once you're able to do that more often, you see a little bit further down the road, a little bit around the next corner, maybe, of what are the next things that are required to get you to where you want to go. Or you can get help from someone like me who, as I said, in my case in particular, I'm very good at trial and error that discovers the systems, implements the systems, refines the systems, and then passes them on to my clients because they're proven to work. That speeds up their process of getting to where they want to go. And I created a program, online program called Sort Your Shit Out, that helps you put these systems in place. It actually makes the systems known to you in the first place. And I deliver them in a format that means you can just swipe them. So, templates, checklists, what to say, how to hire, what you can be delegating, how you can grow your team sustainably, how you can create the future and pull it towards you sooner so that you are living your best life right now. My husband and I, because we vacation so often, are often remarking about how on certain tours and adventures that we go on, at 49 and 52, we are decades younger than the majority of the people on these tours. And that's not because we pick tours that only elderly people will go on. It's because they're the retirees and everybody else is still at work. And these retirees are often injured or frail or unwell in some way. And they're trying to have this experience that they've always dreamt of, but they're not there in good shape. And it reaffirms for us that the work that we do to help others achieve business success sooner helps people to live their best life sooner. Let's not wait until our twilight years before we get to travel the world or have opulent things if that's what we want, or spend time with people that we love. Let's put some pretty simple systems in place now so that we can live that life now. Sort Your Shit Out is 6 online video modules. None of them is more than 20 minutes. And there's 4 bonus modules in there as well to share with you everything you need to know about hiring a housekeeper and what duties they could perform. If you need a morning or afternoon nanny, how you do that. Even how to sort your wardrobe out so that you're making less decisions every day about what to wear, because that's a real thing. Even how to sort your nighttime routine out if you're the night person rather than the morning person. All of it is there for you to swipe right now. And it even comes with free membership for a month into my Keep It Sorted monthly membership, where I help you sort it out and then keep it sorted for when life gets busy again so that it doesn't all unravel. Because we're really good at putting something in place and working for a little bit, but then we get thrown a curveball by life and it all unravels and we're back to the start. So you can have access to Sort Your Shit Out right now. I'll put the link in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you like this video if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon.